Today's stories. Russia's Putin calls to resolve the North Korea crisis via dialogue. Barcelona residents denounce the jailing of Catalan activists. Government workers to move to the new Egyptian capital by 2019. Hawaii officials praise a judge's ruling on travel ban. Border wall prototypes erected at the U.S.-Mexico border in San Diego. A spokesman says U.S. drone strike kills the leader of a Pakistani militant group. Plus, Iglesia de Cristo's Band Together in New York highlights Christian music. Hello everyone, I am Eliza Gonzalez Manlikmont, bringing you stories from around the globe, and this is Eagle News, Washington, D.C. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Thursday that Moscow condemned North Korea's nuclear tests, but insisted the crisis around the Korean peninsula should be resolved through dialogue.
Решать эту проблему, безусловно, нужно путем диалога, а не загонять Северную Корею в угол, не угрожать применением силы, не опускаться до откровенного хамства и ругани. Нравится это или не нравится, нравится кому-то северокорейский режим или не нравится.
Putin also told scholars and reporters from the Valdai discussion group that a new set of U.S. sanctions imposed on Moscow by U.S. Congress was designed to oust Russia from European energy markets and force Europe to buy more expensive U.S. liquefied natural gas.
Некоторые даже не скрывают, что используют политические предлоги и поводы, чтобы продвинуть собственные, чисто коммерческие интересы. Так, недавний санкционный пакет, принятый американским Конгрессом, откровенно нацелен на то, чтобы вытеснить Россию с европейских рынков энергоносителей.
Speaking from stage, Putin also called for a reform of the United Nations, adding that the changes of the global organization should be carried out gradually.
Реформы нужны. Совершенствование системы ООН нужно. Но реформы могут быть только постепенными, эволюционными, и, конечно, они должны быть поддержаны подавляющим большинством участников международного.
Barcelona residents on Tuesday reacted with dismay to the jailing of two separatist activists being investigated for alleged sedition.
The jailing of the ANC's Jordi Sanchez and Omnium's Jordi Cuixart on Monday brought Spain closer to imposing central rule over Catalonia as Madrid seeks to thwart its independence push. 21-year-old Elizabeth Fickpaw says jailing the activists is suppression of freedom.
Pues me parece muy mal porque lo veo una forma de represión, de censurar la libertad de expresión enorme y es un encarcelamiento político que no se puede permitir.
Another resident says locking up Sanchez and Cuixart is illegal.
Español toma unas medidas que son ilegales, directamente ilegales, con lo cual no hay otra alternativa, la independencia.
The two jailed activists played central roles in orchestrating pro-independence protests that last month trapped national police inside a Barcelona building and destroyed their vehicles. Josep Rhodes says all that is happening is a form of exaggeration.
Opino que es muy malo, que es, creo que exagerado. Exagerado, o sea, sobredimensionado la situación. Estuviera mucho mejor si hubiera una multa o algo mucho menos agresivo.
In the first imprisonment of senior secessionist figures since Catalonia's October 1 independence referendum, the court ordered the heads of the Catalan National Assembly and Omnium held without bail pending an investigation for alleged sedition.
Construction is underway on Egypt's new administrative capital, located some 30 miles east of Cairo, a project expected to cost about $300 billion and designed as an escape from the city's congestion.
According to one official, Egypt's new administrative capital will start receiving government employees in the first half of 2019. Egypt's plan to build a new city was announced in March 2015 at a Sharm el-Sheikh summit held to attract foreign investors who had pulled back from the country after the 2011 revolt against the government. A media tour of the new city was organized on Wednesday.
بالنسبة للنقل المصالح الحكومية أو ما يسمى بالحي الحكومي اللي هو متكون من وزارات الدولة المصرية، منتظر إن شاء الله إن هي هتتنقل ويبدأ عمل الموظفين من خلال.
The new capital, planned to be the size of Singapore, will house government buildings, diplomatic missions, and residential units in the area between Cairo, Suez City, and Ain Sokhna. Built to escape Cairo's overcrowding and pollution, the new administrative capital was initially expected to cost $300 billion and feature an airport larger than London's Heathrow and a building taller than Paris's Eiffel Tower.
بنتكلم على ان القوات المسلحه المصريه والجيش المصري هو اللي بيقوم بتنفيذ كل حاجه ومحتكر كل حاجه في البلد. الكلام دوت مش واقعي تماما. القصه بتتلخص في ان الجيش عنده من الاليات والانضباط اللي يحقق بيه سرعه الانجاز والدقه في الاشراف والمتابعه. فالجيش بياخد المهمه والقائمين بالتنفيذ والدعم المالي وكل الكلام ده بيتم من خلال الشركات المدنيه اللي موجوده في جمهوريه مصر العربيه. كبرات الشركات شغاله في المشروع. الجيش ما بينفذش، الجيش وظيفته الاشراف فقط على كل المشروعات.
The project is one of the several announced by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to develop the economy and create jobs for a growing population of more than 90 million.
Up next, Hawaii officials praise a judge's ruling on travel ban. Border wall prototypes erected at the U.S.-Mexico border in San Diego. A spokesman says U.S. drone strike kills the leader of a Pakistani militant group. Plus, INC band together New York highlights Christian music. Eagle News, Washington, D.C. will return in a moment. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News, Washington, D.C. U.S. District Judge Derek Watson of Hawaii blocks President Trump's travel order for the third time, receiving praise from state officials. Alfred Acenas reports.
It is strike three for the Trump administration in its latest attempt to enforce a travel ban, which has been blocked yet again by the same federal judge. In his ruling, U.S. District Judge Derek Watson wrote that the revised order suffers from precisely the same maladies as its predecessor, as he cited concerns about the new set of travel restrictions that was supposed to go in effect this week. This is the Trump administration's third attempt to impose travel restrictions on the 6 Muslim-majority countries of Chad, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Syria, and Yemen, along with Venezuela and North Korea. The White House, in a statement, criticized the latest court order as dangerously flawed and undercutting the president's efforts to keep the American people safe while enforcing minimum security standards for entry into the U.S. The Justice Department is expected to file an appeal. Meanwhile, Hawaii-based officials like U.S. Senator Brian Schatz and State Attorney General Doug Chin shared a common theme of praise and optimism on Judge Watson's latest decision, emphasizing that the rule of law will win over any attempt by the Trump administration to discriminate certain people based on their origin or religion. And according to sources for Hawaii News Now, Judge Derek Watson has just been assigned a 24-hour security detail after receiving numerous death threats for blocking the latest travel ban. This is not the first time the judge received such high-level protection. As we speak, Eagle News is attempting to make contact with the state Republican Party, which is also preparing in earnest for President Trump's visit here in early November. Reporting from Honolulu, Hawaii, I'm Alfred Acenas for Eagle News. I'm one with 25.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection, or CBP, released recent images of 8 border wall prototypes near the Otay Mesa port of entry in San Diego. All 8 prototypes will stand between 18 to 30 feet and are designed to deter illegal crossings in the area.
One of U.S. President Donald Trump's key campaign promises in 2016 was to construct a wall along the 2,000-mile U.S. border with Mexico to fight illegal immigration. The border, which stretches across 4 U.S. states, already has 600 miles of barriers, including fences and walls. Trump has insisted Mexico would pay for building the wall, which experts said could cost about $22 billion and take more than 3 years to complete. With Mexico refusing to pay, Trump has said since taking office in January that the wall will initially need U.S. funding, but that he will find a way to make Mexico ultimately pay for it.
According to a Jamaat Ahl Ahl spokesman, the leader of Pakistani militant group Jamaat Ahl Ahl died of wounds sustained in a U.S. drone strike in Afghanistan on Thursday.
Omar Khalid Khorasani planned some of the deadliest suicide bombings in Pakistan over the last year. A splinter group of the Pakistani Taliban Jamaat Ahl Ahl has increasingly targeted religious minorities in Pakistan. The group claimed responsibility for last year's bombing, which killed 70 people in the eastern city of Lahore. Khorasani's death comes ahead of U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's visit to Pakistan next week and is likely to ease tensions between the two countries. The Pakistani government has repeatedly asked the U.S. to target militants who carry out attacks in Pakistan but are based over the border in Afghanistan.
INC band Together New York highlights Christian music. That's next. Eagle News Washington, D.C. will return in a moment. This is Eagle News Washington, D.C. I am Eliza Gonzalez Manglikmot. The Iglesia Ni Cristo in New York uses the universal language of music to communicate faith through the Band Together project. Maynard Binaday shares with us the story.
When you think of Christian music, you automatically associate the genre to hymns, gospel and praise, and different worship styles. Well, we're here at the Paramount Hudson Valley Theater in Peekskill, New York, where performing artists of the INC take the stage and showcase a mix of contemporary Christian music, the language of the heart, soul, and mind. For every song performed, there's an authentic story told, which emotes different types of inspirational messages and personal feelings. Professional music theater performers and directors of the music event Band Together, Albert and Esther Gerzon, explain the authenticity of performing contemporary Christian music.
Well, I think Christian music forces you to become vulnerable as a performer because it's therapy.
It's almost like you're praying to God with the Christian contemporary songs, so it's to me it's my form of prayer.
Ray Del Rosario, one of the performers and a passionate musician, explains the similarities of mainstream music to contemporary Christian music and why people should listen to it.
It's from the soul. You know, that type of music is coming from the heart and soul and mind, of course. But I think a lot of performers gain a lot of inspiration just from having that experience spiritually. And when you have that in you, you tend to be overtaken by something else, by a higher power when you're performing.
Great artists are never afraid to share a part of themselves in song, as heard here in the Paramount Hudson Valley Theater. Reporting from Peekskill, New York, I'm Maynard Binadai with Eagle News 1 with 25.
Thank you, Maynard. Band Together is a project launched by the Executive Minister of the Iglesia Ni Cristo, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, geared to inspire musicians, especially the youth, to express themselves creatively and spiritually with Christian music. The project has been held in INC districts around the world and is also a program featured on one of the church's websites, incmedia.org. That is today's Eagle News, Washington, D.C. Join us again next week as we bring stories that matter to you. Visit our website at Eaglenews.PH. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/EagleNewsPH. Thank you for watching. I am Eliza Gonzalez Manglekmot, always 1 with 25. Happy weekend.